and Elevation Radio.
God bless you. This is Elevation Radio 1, and I'm your host, the Music Man, Pastor Steve Turner. Thank you for taking the journey with us today. This is a program that spotlights positive people doing positive work while serving a positive God, and that God's name is Jesus, Yeshua, Ben Yosef, the Elohim. And so today we're going to talk about some powerful things, so I needed to get a powerful person in the presence of my wife, Evangelist Leora Turner. God bless you. How are you? Are you there?
Yes, praise the Lord to you. Hi, honey.
Oh, good. All right. And our subject matter is, and darkness came, America without God. Spiritual love for God is dying. Can't you feel it? As we eliminate God, can't you see it? America is on the decline and is losing its respect and position as a world leader. Domestic terrorism and rampant racism are leading us to self-destruct. How can it be changed? And so our verse to rehearse, matter of fact, sweetheart, read the verses to rehearse.
Okay. Well, in John 3:19 says, "This is the judgment, that the light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light for their deeds." And then it goes on in Corinthians 2:4-6 says, "For God who said, light shall shine out of the darkness, is the one who has shone on our hearts to give light of knowledge of glory of God and faced." Hold on. It just blocked out. Hold on a minute. Give me 1 second. Oh, my gosh. I'm on my phone. I'm sorry. Wait.
No problem.
Okay. I think I got it. 46. Well, I think I got it. No, I don't got it. Hold on a minute. Let me go back. Give me a second.
All right, we have to come back to it. But what it basically boils down to is that there are different levels of darkness. And it actually says here that spiritual darkness is a symbol of evil. And that's very important too. And this is kind of where we are on this program today, that America is spiritually evil because of its decisions, of its policies, of its promoting abortions and promoting homosexuality. And it's become basically, and the name of America is actually not spelled America. It's Amerikka. And that stands for the people that love riches. The people that love riches. And so, we used to say, in God we trust. But that's gone by the wayside. We have a caller here. Hold on a second. Let's see.
All right.
All right, you're calling live on Elevation Radio 1. How can we help you?
This is Anika Bazemore.
Oh, okay. We're glad everybody clap your hands. God bless you. Delivered.
Well, I had to actually just, make that phone call because you asked me to be on the program today. And as most people know, I'm just getting back from the historical Pennsylvania Avenue Billie Holiday Cadillac parade that I was in. We were interviewed by the media. I'm running on the Republican card for mayoral for Baltimore City. We're going to put $2.5 billion on the ground. I'm already connected with and meeting with my developers that have over almost a century in America of developing. My husband worked as a main person for them for 25 years. They're excited, so they're backing me to run. So we're not going to owe any powers to be here in Baltimore any favors. A group, I will mention the the JH Group. The board of directors offered $1 million for me to run on the Republican card. They, and as usual, they play the political game where they'll give a candidate to run on the Republican side as well as the Democrat side. But I'm not going to owe any favors, so I told them to keep their money. I don't need their money. I don't want their money. This election season, God has sent me here for his purpose, for vision, to bring Baltimore City into the 21st century and for total revitalization of this city. So I'm excited.
We need to have some light here in the midst of darkness, because Baltimore is getting darker by the day, as the program talking about that, and darkness came, and America without God. This is a symbolism of America without God here in Baltimore, because we're sitting 30 miles away.
And I talk to young people. I talk to young people on a daily basis in my travels, in my journey here in Baltimore City. And, I've even spoken to a lot of the drug entrepreneurs, because I'm looking at what they're doing in their own community. See, they never know when I'm going to pop up with a camera. So when I go to see my clients over at Bell Park Towers, and you know where that's at, it's over in Belvedere, a couple of blocks up from Park Heights. And to my surprise, they stand out there and wait for the disabled people. 80% of the people that are residents there are disabled or seniors, and they wait on the 1st through the 4th for some of them to come out, and some of them are disabled because they're recovering addicts. And you were selling the wrong poison, the wrong product, and so I put them on camera and then talked about the police sitting in the lot in their cars. If I'm seeing this transaction go down, you got to be seeing it. So, see, we need to start limiting our...
Hold on a second. I was on no trouble, but you know that in Northwest Baltimore, some time ago, that a police officer was arrested on the parking lot for having proceeds from his drug sale, and so that also was actually down there on Liberty Heights, I believe, at the 4G liquor store. The reason why we couldn't put that out is because the police officer signed there was on the take. He was getting paid by 4G Liquors to look the other way.
So I had already closed down 3 stores and a gas station in the city because they were even selling synthetic marijuana. So we are I'm going to give and see, what's amazing to me is Jack Young, the intermediate, now he's been sworn in as mayor. And my thing is, you have got to sit down with the fraternity of police, because they're your front line. You can't be so arrogant where you're not going to sit down with them, along with the new Commissioner Harrison, to actually come together and form a plan so the killings can stop. We need to talk about also Johns Hopkins and the various scientific research here in Baltimore City, that they get billions of dollars a year to do the cause and effect, to do the research, but then not come up with solutions. They should be solution-driven, and all of us need to work together. Well, we have a plan. I have a plan. God has sent me here with a plan, and because you follow me, Pastor Turner, that last year I helped Mayor Pugh get $30 million extra dollars. They had a war chest of $51 million to help end homelessness here in Baltimore City. And they've only spent $4.8 million. So
where's the money?
God touched my heart then.
Where's the rest of that money?
There it is. Oh, we're following the money. She took $30 million and gave it to a nonprofit. You didn't see where they raided 7 nonprofits in City Hall 4 months ago? Oh, they're gonna find the money. Okay.
Well, it could have been in-house with the Able Foundation. It could have been with the Able Foundation, because Greg Bernstein's, I guess you would call her the wife, is actually deputy mayor. I don't know how you can wear 2 hats, being part of the Able Foundation board and deputy mayor, and have an Adam's apple bigger than mine. But that's the person who's running the city. Good God Almighty. Darkness. We got a caller. Started trouble here. Hold a second. All right, we have a caller here. Always a pleasure. You're welcome to Elevation Radio 1. How can we help you? You're live, Elevation Radio 1. All right. If you can, just call back. Okay. Okay, sometimes we have callers who... Okay, I think I may have lost her. Oh, that's something. Okay. Well, Dr. Bateman, you can call back, and God bless you. In terms of, it says that men prefer to the darkness rather than the light. They prefer to do deeds of evil and sin, and we can hear these deeds all over the news and all over every social media platform. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Okay, there you go, wife. That's it. Okay. We take a tour of the news. We can actually see darkness being prevalent here in America. We have parents fist fighting at Little League games. What kind of example is that setting for the children? My goodness, we have women and employees fist fighting at Popeyes over the chicken sandwich. I saw a video. Couldn't believe it. We have also a Tennessee man. This may make you laugh. He ran around Tennessee. He couldn't find the new Popeyes chicken sandwich. He was so upset. He's now suing Popeyes for false advertising to the tune of $5,000, trying to get rich on the miscalculation of a chicken sandwich. Good God Almighty. And men love darkness. Former Vice President Joe Biden actually was on the campaign trail talking about his awarding a medal to a military veteran, and he got all the facts wrong. He didn't even pin the medal, that particular on the person. It was President Obama. And when he was confronted with the truth, he's got the date wrong, location wrong, the serviceman wrong, and all that. His response was not of humility, but says, if you don't like what I said, then just don't vote for me. Wow. So,
that's
it's incredible. Well, in this atmosphere of political satire, we have to look at the greatest liar on the planet, and that's Donald Trump. Your president did say in documentation of the news, CNN, I believe, that he's been documented for have lied over 12,000 times. Wow. 12,000 times. And he also lost a general and his Secretary of Defense because he's alienating the allies, and he's actually cozying up to fellow dictators. Oop, did I say that? Fellow dictators, such as the North Korean dictator and the Russian president who he loves so much. Selling out America to the tune of, and actually trying to start a war that basically that to camouflage his ineptness and weakness. Can we get a leader that loves God, that doesn't want to basically disgrace the people and disgrace God? Does anybody really believe and love God? Yeah, because I can see that the love of many, it said in the Bible, would wax cold. And I see coldness and the cold shoulder being given to God in his own land. And so, I'm just trying to wonder. We have corporations who are knowingly selling false and carcinogenic products that will cause harm to the public, such as Monsanto, but Roundup, and Juul with the vaping for the youth, for lung cancer. And you've got Toyota who's selling defective airbags. And you also have Amazon selling defective equipment and products that want you to pay a prime price for it. And so selling these items without any remorse, without any cause, without any regret, just trying to get paid, trying to get money, and don't care exactly who will die, because you figure by the time you die, you won't even realize what's happening. We've pocketed so much money. What happened to the morals of this country? is everything about money making, greed, and we can even extend this into the church. I remember a promoter here in this city was trying to do a concert, and he was told by an iconic grounds community preacher that he had to meet with pastors in this area and get a consortium. And so once he met with them and he told them about his vision of trying to do a community concert, you won't believe what the pastors actually asked him. You're supposed to say, what did they ask him?
What did they ask him?
I'm so glad you followed that script, my wife.
Yes.
They asked him, and what is in it for us? Lord have mercy. How can we get paid? How can we be a benefit? And when you put the will and the desire of yourself, your pocketbook, your ego, above the wishes of God's people, it happens every day all over the country. And that's kind of why we are in darkness today, because some pastors have become more politicians and trying to sell out and get acquainted with the world to the point that they want to be famous and industrious and rich and wealthy, and can get along with lying politicians more than the people that they're here to shepherd. Good God Almighty. If you have an opinion, call in at 1-914-205-5353. 1-914-205-5353. The scripture that does say God holds his hand out all day to a gainsaying people, people who are only concerned about money, about getting ahead, about getting paid, getting broke off. Isn't that why we work 2 or 3 jobs, killing ourselves to get the material stuff? And I've seen it in the church also, where the pastors, I didn't know they were broke as a rail, but they lived off the people to the point where people brought them food to help feed the children that they had inherited. So much food, I thought I was in a Walmart. They called it Harvest Home. And I happened to say to the pastor at the time, a harvest is going towards the people, not that you engulf it yourself just for your family. This is abuse of power, Pastor. You can't do that to the people of God. My goodness. And every time, as someone said, if you spend time talking in a church service, and 60% of the service is about money and giving, money lines and money laundering in the wrong place. Good God Almighty, you spend less time hearing the word, more time hearing about what we need to have. God shall supply all of your needs according to the riches and glory. Amen. So that's where you can't fleece the flock. You can't, and that's what's happening here in America. The church is taking after the political structure here, because if after I have paid my taxes and if after I have worked and you've taken taxes out of my check for all the years that I've worked and Social Security and all that, where did all that money go? Now, when I die, my spouse can only get $255 toward my burial and funeral. Where did all the money that I've been spending all these years go? Well, actually, if you've got an opinion, somehow I've been robbed, my eyes open. Darkness, when you can just steal and rob people and do this kind of stuff without any remorse. This may sound funny, but I can't get a bag of Doritos. They're paying for $1.89, and then open the bag, and they only got 1/3 of the Doritos in the bag. Something is wrong. Woo! Those skinny bottles of soda, I tell you. Listen, if you have an opinion, call in at 1-914-205-5353. And let's take a break here as we journey forward. What is your opinion, I guess, of what is going on here in this particular country, in the city by itself? I'm asking you.
Life?
What's your opinion of the darkness in the city of Baltimore, which has been now becoming known as the worst city in America, most violent city in America?
It's terrible. I think that there's a lot of lost souls out here, and I feel that the people that are out there trying to help them, they gotta want to be helped, I feel like this world is so corrupt. They have no guidance, no direction. Like, what happened? I mean, the bottom line is that if they only know the truth.
What is the truth?
The truth is they need to repent and get to know who the Lord Jesus Christ is. That's the main truth.
Mm-hmm. So,
they really need.
I think So, what it sounds like. Go ahead. So what it sounds like is that you're killing me.
Go ahead.
What it sounds like is that as we have gone the other way from God, as we have detracted ourselves from His presence, as we have, matter of fact, I'll give you an example of what this, to our brothers in Florida and Virgin Islands and in Georgia, there is a storm on the horizon, Dorian, that is on the way. And I asked God, what is it about this storm that makes it so ominous and just fierce, besides the winds and the elements? And so it says here that Dorian, why would it be named Dorian, and who named it that way? It says that it's a member of an ancient Hellenic race that actually completed its mission of overthrowing the Mycenaean cultures, and especially in the Isles of Crete, which is modern Canada. It kind of accomplished the mission of destruction. So we have to ask ourselves, because if we ever watched programs like Conspiracy Theory and saw some other research, we wonder, of the storms that are being produced now from God, from the minds and the auspices of scientists. Because, that's who's naming them. They have a name for a reason. So that's something to think about. Who are going to be destroyed by the storm? Because I think the major storm in down south, when they had the levees and all that was proposed as a man-made flooding there, and is to perhaps wipe out the population so that resources can be garnered. And, minorities are at an exception and an expense. So think about it. Let's call it 1914-205-5353. 1914-205-5353. You would like to be on this program, then send us your bio and photo to elevationradio1@gmail.com. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and just about every positivepower21.org and blogtalkradio.com. And occasionally I get blessed to have my lovely wife, Lady Leora, to help me out with co-hosting, and that's important.
Yes,
so we've got a few more minutes here. So let's talk a little bit about. I started. This is the reality of what we're dealing with here. I started to because a couple weeks ago it was very hot. I started to put on a white T-shirt, and because I wanted to be cool, and go out to the store and get something to eat. And I had to think. God slapped me upside my head. Said, "No, you don't want to do that. Not in Baltimore. Not in this culture here, because you may be interpreted, even as old as you are, as a gangbanger." So I had to think about that, and we'll put on another shirt because there's no guarantee that you from in here in this city that you're going to make it from your home to the 7-Eleven and back in one piece without being shot. We've had, matter of fact, your mayor, Bernardo Jackie Young, on September 28th is having a fundraiser over at Tiffany's East. It's not a black establishment. I want to say that. It is a European establishment, which is, kind of, you can pick out a black establishment in a city that's 95% African American. I understand where you're coming from, okay, and who's controlling the reins. But you didn't want to be mayor. You're doing a terrible job. I mean, let's be quite frank. Your solution to things, instead of getting jobs and putting the youth to work and fulfilling the fact that they have so many jobs, that they actually have the money that is not being recirculated around to be allocated to them to get paid. That's what they want. They work, they want to get paid. That's what you promised them. And that started with Catherine Pugh, which he sat right under her. He's been in government for 23 years. He's a problem, a fixture of the oldest machine. He should go. Anytime you're indecisive, you don't want to be mayor, and now all of a sudden you got the little power to your head. Now you want to run fundraisers. Why do we have to have a fundraiser to support you when you wouldn't pay $75,000 to the folks for the made-up ransomware? And now this Board of Estimates has approved $1.6 million on his watch for his mistake. Why is that approved? Why is it approved for the water bills to be what they are when there was no way of measuring the water in 3 months because of his appointee, Rudy Chow, who makes more money than the mayor? What kind of backward city is this? Good God Almighty. Darkness came. And so we can prepare ourselves for darkness. It's coming. It's coming. And so I don't care how many prayer requests you make, how many parades you have, how many LGBTQ things you're signing and policies. Because you're doing that, Mayor Jack Young, your days are numbered. Yeah, city council's days are numbered because you put the policies of man before God. And in this note, God is going to come after you. And when enough said it several years ago that because of the promotion of same-sex marriage in the park of Druid Hill Park, which stands for, Druids actually stand for asexual demons from Scotland, neither male nor female. That's why they had the ceremony done by Stephanie Williams-Blake, the homosexual herself, at the park. And so I thought it was the Afram because there's so many people. I didn't know that there were so many homosexuals in this land of Baltimore City. Child pornography and things that sexual raping of women, Mr. Epstein and all. Is he dead? We haven't seen him. My point is simple. The world is full of darkness and the world is full of corruptions. And only but God can see through the darkness, and he can see through your evil and understand that you will not blossom, you will not prosper until every leader in this country and in this city get on their knees and ask God for forgiveness. We have yet to see the power of God flow through. And it said, can the city be saved? Has God left the building? Has he left the city of Baltimore? Has he left the country? Only you can answer that. If you can find one man, can we find one man, one woman who's righteous? Are there any left? Have they all been sold out to Baal? Have they all been sold out to their own prosperity? Have they all been sold out to greed and money and the white envelopes? Oh, my goodness. Does anybody care about the poor, about the widows, about the disabled, about the seniors? Does anybody care? Trying to cut off food stamps from people who need it the most. What kind of man, what kind of soul do you have? But God will come to the rescue and give help to his helpless. And I'm guaranteed that he will. And so although you permit darkness and evil to come through, God can see through it. and see exactly who you are and will save his own people. And on that note, this has been the end of Elevation Radio 1. God will win in the end. Take it to the bank. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up.